Thank you. Thank you. Before we start, I will share with you one story what I think interesting to start discussion about smart cities. Basically, I'm a researcher, 37 years old, and last 12 years I spent with robotics, smart cities, sensor networks, and other more R&D projects with like a Black Mirror series. And I remember my 2017 trip across the most technological advanced universities in Europe, like ETH in Zurich, like Munich Technology University, like Groningen, Leuven, and more. And everywhere I discussed with the scientists and fellows about use cases like autonomous car coming to gas station to charge and pay, for example, in Bitcoin. Or other smart city concept, what you saw in public. And everyone, everywhere said me, Sergei, it's just a dreamings. Nothing like autonomous taxi will appear in the next 10 years. And today, in 2026, when I share with you idea about autonomous car, you can imagine like a post from Elon with a robot taxi or other evidence. And for you right now, it's not a dream. So to start, I want to say that we are living, from my personal background experience, in the dreams of scientists. 2026, not like everyone in the technological advanced universities was like ideas what we have right now. So I want to start our session and spend next 40 minutes with the guys from construction development process. With me today, Michael and Mikhail. So guys, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Michael. I work for Cybarco, which is one of the largest developers in Cyprus, who's been developing since 1945. My main focus is on Limassol at the moment, where I do business development and sales. So we are promoting Cyprus on a larger scale to EU countries, but also to the international market. So having lived in London as well in the past, and now living in Limassol, I'm always looking to see the difference between how my life was in the UK to Cyprus, which, as we'll be discussing today, smart cities. So to compare the lifestyles that I had in both places. And also having been in real estate for the last 8 years,
Okay.
Seeing the shifts in what the clients are looking for when I first started in real estate to what they're looking for now. And most of the questions are based around tech and smart developments and what they want in their properties.
Cool. And we will talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, Sergei, thank you for having me here. First of all, thank you all for coming here on the second day of exhibition. I understand that probably you're not so full of energy like yesterday's morning. So my name is Mikhail Fisher, and probably I have the strangest background amongst all the speakers on this stage today, because for 10 years I worked in media. I was host on TV and radio. Then for 10 years I was running a restaurant business in Russia. We made a restaurant chain, and then I sold my share and moved to Cyprus, and here for 2.5 years I'm responsible for commercial real estate of INX Group, and we are based in Paphos. So today you will have expertise from different parts of the island. Cool. We live in Paphos, and I want to apologize for my terrible English, because you know what? When I was moving to Cyprus, I thought I will have a lot of practice.
Okay.
But you know, when you live in Cyprus, you can live without any usage of English language during the day. So please forgive me for any mistakes that I can take. And what interests me more in professional plan probably is the moment when a concrete box or a beautiful house or an office building becomes more than just square meters. It becomes a place where people want to spend their time not only during the workday, because I'm focused on commercial real estate, offices mostly, and becomes like the place where you want to be. And I think we will speak a little bit about it today.
Like a habitat.
Yes.
It's a new word where appear everywhere. So yeah, what we will start? We will talk from the first topic about what exactly is the new generation of the living. What exactly means to live in smart city? I will have in such a topic 2 questions. First, very short, guys, for you, just to relax answering to me. What is from your mind any case of smart city? Like share any smart city moment from your mind. What fascinated you, or you think it's a practical side? Just any type of the examples, please, Michael.
Yeah. So, from my time living in London, I wouldn't say it was a specific moment of, a smart city moment that stuck with me. It was, I think, more about the seamless technology that I experienced throughout the day. So it was the frictionless type of living, where you don't even think about it. You tap in, you tap out, you get onto the underground, you go to work, you order coffee, sometimes without having any human contact, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But it was sometimes the thought of, if the technology is not noticeable, then that means you're living in a smart city. If you're noticing the gadgets, sometimes that's not a smart city. So I think that was something that stuck with me. And then obviously coming back to Cyprus, you start noticing everything. And then small changes that are coming up, you remember experiencing that in other countries that you've lived in. So yeah, I think one of the main things for me is frictionless living. So for it to be seamless in the background and running smoothly.
I remember one of the first sentence in the Neuromancer Gibson science fiction book about the innovation. It's appeared right now, but not distributed enough around the world at the same time. So yeah.
My smart city moment, I was trying to remember the most impressive one, was in Hong Kong, maybe 10 years ago. So it's not fresh. It's like, old new technology. So we came to Hong Kong, some nice hotel, like skyscraper of metal and glass. And in my hotel room, near the bed, on a small table, there was a wooden box with a giant smartphone. And there was a letter that during your stay, this is your smartphone. And you know what? It had everything. All the points, all the maps, all the contacts. So wherever I was in Hong Kong, one click and I have a route to my hotel. And also there was a remark that I can call in any place in the world. So the first thing I did, I called to my mom in Russia.
To check it.
In Chelyabinsk. And my mom like, what's going on? Hello from Hong Kong. Where is Hong Kong? And it was amazing, like giant unfamiliar city in one simple touch became fully familiar, friendly and open to me. It was crazy. It impressed me so much that after 10 years, I still remember this feeling like, wow, you really impressed me, guys.
Very close for me is the idea of the application of the city in your phone, because I remember my trip where I started from Beijing and finished in New York after 60 days. And in middle of my trip, I spent around 3 days in South Korea in time of protests. And it was only 3 days where my Google Maps, without its places, with a good rating in the new places, our smart mobility disappeared because they switched off our navigation inside city. It was my first time when I thought that a smart city, it's something what change your life dramatically, seamlessly. You cannot to see it basically when you look around, but yeah. Okay, guys, let's go to the second question about new generation. You told me about your personal experience. what about your company's experience? What do you think happening right now, for example, in Cybarco and in Inex, companies like modern, new age, new generation living? What you can you can give a small examples or about some big vision of your companies, but something from professional, from construction developers angle. What is smart city apartments?
Okay.
Michael?
So in the past, clients, they would usually ask, how much is the square meters of the apartment?
Okay.
How large are the bedrooms? What finishings are you using? Is there marble? Is there parquet? Is it engineered wood? Is it not? Those were the concerns that I used to face in the past. Nowadays, the new generation buyer is looking more for energy-saving windows, running costs, PV panels. Will I have an EV charger in my parking space? Accessibility. How easy is it to get to main corridors of the city? Whereas in the past, they wouldn't look at this. So I think the new generation buyer is looking more at comfort as opposed to luxury.
Yeah.
Or comfort is the new luxury. People want to feel comfortable and they want to feel that they can be connected to their neighbors, to the people around them, more communal living as well. So they want to have access to gyms, swimming pools, which is an aspect of smart living as well. Because if you're living in more of a communal side of things, humans need humans. We're better off living in a community than living,
It looks like we're transitioning from the moment where everyone constructed Egypt pyramids from the nice picture to the soul, something with the heart inside of the
People are looking for substance now, than they used to.
From my age and for me, it's totally agree. For me.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm also totally agree, but I need to say something. So, first of all, you know what? Like a couple of years ago, everybody was crazy about the concept of 15-minute city.
Okay.
Like 15-minute city when everything is like 15 minutes walk, school, work, offices, co-working places, hospital, restaurant, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
You know what? Guy who created this concept, he never visited Paphos. Because I already live in 15-minute city and like sometimes it's even 9-minute city, to be honest. And I fully agree with both of you gentlemen, because really previously it seems that like 10, 20 years ago, a buyer, a person who wanted to buy some property and live there was thinking about it like a separate part of the city. But now, where the house is situated? Who are your neighbors? Where is the parking? Where is the highway? How can you get there? What is the infrastructure nearby? Because I lived in Moscow for 22 years. And for me, it was quite ordinary situation to travel 1.5 hours from my house to my office. One side without traffic. With traffic, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's crazy. You can never be in time anywhere. Yeah. And you need to go back at home. So 2 hours more, like 3-4 hours during the day I spent in my car. Then I sold my car because it was crazy. And I was using bus, train, anything, because you can work, you can read, you can watch something, and so on and so on. And it is driving you crazy. It steals your life. So now you want to live like as a human being. And when I moved to Cyprus, I understood that I just wasted 20 years of my life in Moscow. Because you see,
not 20 years, but if you will multiply 5 hours every day, it will be 4 years. I guess.
Just driving, it's crazy. So everybody who decided to live in Cyprus, or was born in Cyprus, or returned to Cyprus from UK, I understand you guys. It was the right decision. And due to the fact that I'm responsible for operation of our commercial real estate, I know not so much about our houses, I mean Inex houses, for example, but I think that it is common, what we discuss right now, for every progressive developer on island, because otherwise in a couple of years you will be somewhere in the back of progress. But due to our office spaces, for example, let me give you one example of what we do.
Yeah.
For example, we don't use any keys or magnet cards or something like this to gain access to the building.
Yeah,
we
okay.
use the same Face ID technology as in every smartphone here in this room. So you will never forget your face. You will not spend some moments trying to find your badge. Oh my God, I lost it, I forgot it. How can I get in the office? So 24/7 access is open for you, except one small situation when instead of uploading your photo, your selfie, some ladies upload their wedding photos.
Photoshop.
Just, wedding photos sometimes.
And face recognition.
Yes, and she comes and tell you your modern technology doesn't work, and you can.
Or you
show
should
me the
prepare
photo?
better for
Yes,
it.
and you compare it, and even the machine cannot recognize you. So we have a lot of technologies right now around us, in our smartphones, in our gadgets that we wear during the day. And as Michael said, frictionless, seamless technology is what we need. And something that we can take from here and put in the office, like Face ID technology, is nice solution, familiar to everyone. And I call it common magic, because with every next usage, you become more and more familiar to this technology.
Yeah.
And when you see a person who enters the office building, our office building for the first time, and he sees a Face ID terminal on the tourniquet, what he do? He bows. Like, recognize me. And after a week or so, of course, you don't even slow your move. You just walk and you know where to look.
Cool.
And everything opens before you, like Red Sea before Moses.
Cool. Okay, guys. Next topic. If we agreed that the new customers, new age, will decide not about the materials, but materials in bathroom, of course, it's important. But basically, yeah, I'm important more about community infrastructure and how it's connected around. But what about investments? How, in your opinion, right now, construction developers really invest in infrastructure? For example, when they making something outside building or connect some municipality, or just to share my personal visit to my friend in San Francisco, South Market, Financial District, Union Square, 2 big buildings for like a Google employees was built in 2016. Small apartments, nice picture, nice view on the bridge, but 25 meters apartments. But it was the first time when we ordered from Amazon something and he received code, not in specific application, but for his mobile operator phone with the code to the boxes inside underfloor, where they just put code and get Amazon. It's like Amazon was integrated to the first floor of the building in 2016. Whole levels with the kitchens where we grabbed together some wine from Napa and watched the football and meet together there. So I saw how company 10 years ago invested to bring Amazon to underfloor or the first floor of the buildings. What about your personal perspective and, of course, from your company experience? The investment something to the connectivity of the buildings and to be more like a smart city part?
Okay, so I agree totally with what you've just said in terms of investing more into the infrastructure of the city. So what you're seeing now more from us as Cybarko, but a lot of the main developers in Cyprus and especially in Limassol, is you're seeing a lot more destination projects.
Okay.
So not just a single building with 9 apartments and that's it. If you continue doing that, you will be outdated. So you're seeing a lot more projects with commercial space, kindergartens, playgrounds, co-working spaces, which is very important now to this new generation. But this is great when developers can do these projects and the city will start changing because this will be the new trend. But we need to see more public and private collaboration. So, of course, we do know that the municipalities are working towards these new projects. We don't know at what pace, but definitely these ideas have been thrown around. But we need to see a lot more collaboration between this because the cities, to become better cities, not just smart cities, but better cities, you need the collaboration of the developer, the municipality, the people, because it's a city project at the end of the day. So I'm not sure how much collaboration there is there. And it's
so
something
basically expanding of the construction developers' investments, you see more in facilities what construction developer bring to basically the habitats of the complex area. And it's, from my perspective, it was, I recognize it that if you live in Limassol close to seashore, you can make a 5-star hotel everyday ticket. And it's a different facilities in comparing with your standard apartments, not a 5 stars. Okay.
I will try to give a couple of examples of what we are doing, for example. So our serviced offices, we have a brand, it's Beyond. We just took a word beyond and removed all the unnecessary letters. So we call it Beyond. We have one in Limassol. And the owner of the building, he's here, Mr. Theodoros Theodorou. Hello. So, for example, in Paphos, we bought the building, so it's our own service office. But in Limassol, we found the masterpiece that the owner declined to sell. So we were forced to rent it. In each of these buildings, we have some commercial spaces available for rent. Not smart offices, but somewhere in the end of the building, for example, we have some restaurants. So we spend a couple of million euros for our own mobile application that weighs approximately 60 megabytes, something like this. So it's quite small and light. And we use this application to control our office infrastructure. And we have different kinds of models that we can put inside. For example, restaurant model. So we integrate restaurants in the building to our mobile application. So any resident of the building can make an order without any waiting inside the restaurant. So it's good both for restaurants that is not occupied for waiting people, with waiting people like when you receive push notification, everything ready, you can come and pick up. Even more, we made a delivery inside the office building. So for example, we have a coffee shop, and due to some meeting in a nice meeting room with all the modern technologies and so on, you can go inside the application and order coffee for everyone or some snacks, and it will be delivered in the meeting room. So no person involved, like, hello, lady, bring me something.
What is interesting is such if we comparing the ideas, facilities can be declined in several years after the launch because, for example, gym, just 2 people using it after 5 years, it's broken, or restaurant just disappear. But if you have API, for example, to your building, to your habitat, they can make like a more live application where the new competitors, new companies can just connect their business inside the users.
And it's very nice experience for residents because you don't kind of meet this stuff in everyday life. And when you use it day by day, you become more and more familiar, as I told before. And it's really nice, both for restaurants and residents. For example, in Paphos, we have 2 restaurants in one part of the building, coffee shop in another part. We have roof garden also with a cafe. It's illegal, don't tell anyone. So, and everything is integrated in the app. So to be honest, it's very hard to work in the building because, for example, we decided that every resident of the building, we have a kitchen on each floor, fully equipped kitchen with coffee machines. Coffee is included, of course, tea, hot, cold, and even sparkling water. To be honest, it's my favorite part. 4,000 euro per one purifier, and you can drink unlimited sparkling water. Speaking of good investments, it's not. It's not. But a person is 90% of water, and I'm 90% of sparkling water now, thanks to this system. And except this fact, we decided that in a coffee shop, for example, every resident of the building has a right to have 1 free coffee from barista per day. So we created a behavior pattern. As the resident comes to, before coming to work, driving, I don't know, goes to application, orders coffee, he enters the building from the cafe side, he grabs his coffee and he goes to his workplace.
New York style.
Yes, but inside the building, totally free, frictionless, without any time loss.
Okay, guys. Let's talk more about residence first strategies. I think before we 10 times said that it's not about more in your parts, but more about connectivity between peoples and things around. So let's start from I think, if you open, for example, Crestron, one of the ultra-luxury smart home systems, you will first on the first page the idea about well-being, about health, Whoop, or Aura, Garmin.
I will tell you why I'm not wearing Whoop.
But basically, today you expecting that your new apartments will be ready to grab biometrical data when you come inside and say, oh, you have a tennis today, let's make a dance.
It scares a little bit.
Yeah, so guys, what do you think about stuff like this? It looks a little bit like a Black Mirror serial, new one, but what do you think? Your personal well-being and your apartments, CO2 sensors, for example. Yeah, from my perspective, it's one of the strangest things here. 8 square meters, 2 people breathing inside, and if you will calculate the CO2 level, you will find a lot of funny stuff. So what do you think about your connectivity? Basically, it's something cyberpunk stuff, I guess.
I mean, first I agree with the wearables. I mean, I personally wear a Whoop. I have been now for the last 6 months, and every morning I obsessively check my sleep, my recovery, how many calories did you burn yesterday, how many steps did you do, and you start calculating these things and realizing bad habits or good habits. And jokingly, my fiance, she's 5 years younger than me, and biologically I'm 4 years younger. According to, so I'm chasing that as a target. So of course we are so obsessed now with this new generation of this data. We love data. So why not use this into our own homes? I mean, now, we should be calculating more the carbon dioxide in the area of your apartment. The quality of the air, of course, the ventilation, the natural light. So us now with our new projects, you're seeing vents on the outside of the verandas, which has a ventilation system. Even when the AC is off, there is constantly clean air in the apartments. And this is a question we never had 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's the standards. The clients, they ask for the mechanical plans to see exactly, the quality of the air. So that's the direction that we should be taking. But of course, there's a lot of space to fill. I'm not a tech guy, but we definitely need to have more tech in our apartments. And I think as Cybarco, this is the direction we're taking. To have, as you have all of this data about yourself, you should have, it's pointless if you're not breathing in good air in your apartment, even if this shows that you're great.
One of the cross between it show your recovery, but if CO2 level, for example, too high, you have a less recovery in reality, and you cannot measure from your Whoop what exactly happened in environmental.
And you cannot understand why your recovery is bad.
What about you?
Thank you for questioning me. I stopped wearing Whoop because it was upsetting me every Saturday morning. It was asking me, you had too much alcohol yesterday? I was like, yes, I just moved to Cyprus.
How many years
it always knows.
Like, I just moved to Cyprus, socialization, you meet some people, what you do, you drink some Cyprus wine, of course. And I decided not to continue because it was humiliating me. Like, what are you doing with your life and so on? So if we speak about integrating the same technologies in our smart apartments, please, let it be a little bit more like polite. It really stressed me a lot. And to be serious, really, now we can measure everything inside our body. We have a lot of different devices that shows us how we recover, our heartbeat, and so on and so on. But we know almost nothing about the environment we are living and working in. So, speaking about our office spaces, for example, we have tablets with with the maps of all the infrastructure.
Yeah.
And we see the CO2 level, we see temperature, we see everything. And for example, we do a lot of different kind of events, concerts, and so on in our buildings. And sometimes during the event, for example, our chief engineer like, alarm guys, you see CO2 level is too high.
And some gnomes under the floor started
Yes,
to make magic.
of course, it's magic. And I think of course, it's necessary future. Because when, for example, I moved to Cyprus, nobody never warned me about the dust storms.
Okay.
Because this winter, there were days when you take a look and you doesn't see any sea. That was usually somewhere behind your window.
That was a different one winter from the last 3 years before, because I have sensors, air pollution sensors on the balcony of a lot of people here, and made non-commercial project to measure real hours of the dust storm. And for example, between 24, 25, it was just 40 hours for whole year of the dust storms. In this year, in the last 8 months, it was approximately 50, 60 hours, and it's not end of the 1 year. Yeah.
So speaking about Cyprus as a beautiful place to grow up kids, for example, you never think when you live in Moscow previously that sandstorm can happen. And I don't even know how it affects my life, but my wife, for example, she found some application, IQ Air or something like this. And of course, as every second guy in this room, I play paddle. And she was like, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Why? You see, it's like bones and skull in the application, like it's hazardous. And I was like, no, come on, what can happen? And I went, I play paddle, and like, probably I'm dying, really. Yeah. And I don't know if it's placebo or not, but it will be very nice to understand what environment we are living in, we are working in, and what's going on around us.
Yeah. Agree with you. Only remark about IQ. They use satellite lasers to make a layer over the map, and when you see the yellow and orange area, it's not about the air pollution on the earth level. It's just about the dust in everywhere air on the all levels. So more check the sensors from the common ground places.
Thank you for this remark, because to be honest, when I saw this level of pollution, I thought maybe it's covered with sand.
Back to but back to the last dust. It was such a situation. The dust was very far away. 2 days we saw no sun around, but after 40 hours, when IQ showed the hazardous, it's really down. It was a Friday evening or Saturday morning. So compare your data, but guys, we have just 4 minutes to make one more question. Communities. Let's finish with, I guess, the most important. Communities. What you can talk about your mind, what for the Cyprus or not just the Cyprus, any construction developers should mean community. What is your idea about it?
Okay, so communities, I mean, since the beginning of time, we've been living in communities. So somewhere along the way, we decided to live in single homes. And now you're seeing that shift, especially in Cyprus in the last 5 years. People have shifted back to gated communities where you have all of the facilities that you need inside the project. Whether it's sports, co-working space, dog parks, paddle courts, basketball courts, whatever. They want to be able to live, work, and play in the same place.
Yeah.
Not having to leave the place that they're living at.
So idea 15 minutes city transformed to the facilities by construction developer who should care about everything. This is the new way of shifting, and I think that also changed during the COVID times, because what we were discussing before as well, that during COVID times it made us realize that we were just locked in a room, locked in an apartment. So now people appreciate the outdoors a lot more, and also having a safe environment. Knowing that your children can play outside on the bikes, can walk the dog, there's no danger, there's security, there's gates. I can sit on my veranda and watch my kids play football in the park and not have to think of
random traffic, cars driving by. So yeah, I think gated communities are the way forward, but also not just gated communities, but also the community that's being built around it.
Yeah.
So the walkability, does it have pharmacies nearby? Does it have supermarkets, bakeries, schools? But then you face the other question, how walkable is the area? How much shade does the city have? How many trees do we have on our pavements? So it's what I was discussing before as well with the private and public collaboration.
Yeah.
We can bring as many gated communities that we can in Cyprus. And most major developers, they are launching gated communities. But it's also up to that collaboration to make sure that there's connectivity between these. So you don't just have standalone projects, you also have areas that you can...
Looks like smart cities, it's a gated construction developers facility, areas where they need to get API to go to bottom, not to the same place where it was 10 days ago, or yesterday.
Yeah. The future is scary, but it seems...
It looks like...
Quite right. Yes, I totally agree. Gated communities for living complexes is a nice solution because you understand that you can leave your kids play with other kids of people who are as rich as you or not rich but can afford this house and so on. And for example, in Russia, like 20 years ago, rich people built giant fences between their houses.
Yeah.
And now I see some of them here in Cyprus without any fences between houses, speaking with their neighbors, making communities, barbecue and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Even in our office spaces, we created a lot of community events, free and with tickets if we need to cover some expenses. And people in Paphos, for example, they're grateful because there are not so many things happening there. And we took some IT hub event there in Paphos.
So more facilities by construction developers create more opportunities to community growing up together and grab some pizza or good music.
Yes, exactly. And I think the big mistake then a developer can make is trying to do everything by themselves. I mean, like we will open restaurant, we will open gym, we will open kindergarten. Everything will be shitty, to be honest. Because we are good developers, but we are not very good in kindergarten.
We need to stay in our lane.
Exactly.
Yes.
But we need to create opportunities for collaborations, for this kind of businesses to come and to be integrated in our life.
Nice. Ending, we don't have more time, but...
It flashes red.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your answering. I hope you was enjoyed with this session. And if you will have any question to guys, they will be here. Me too. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.